That's up. Hello, good evening, lovely viewers. Welcome once again to the Knowledge City podcast. Today it's another episode with me here. It's a gentleman um, who is written about how many books, please?
9.
9 books, and he's here with us. His name is Terry Mante. Terry Mante. If you are just joining us, please tell a friend that Knowledge City podcast is live here. We are live this evening to dive into another powerful book written by one of our own brothers who is a Ghanaian, like you are aware. This show is to promote creative creators, creative content creators, and also for them to showcase their talent and whatsoever they are doing. And today, the books we are going to dive into, the book is titled Empowerment, To Be, To Will, and To Do. And I'm happy and so excited, as you are as well watching me, that Mr. Terry is here. You are welcome, Mr. Terry.
Thank you, Rita.
I'm happy you are here.
Happy to
Thank
be
you
here
for
too.
accepting the invite.
And thank you for having me.
Okay, when we say Terry Mante, who is he? And please pronounce it well for me.
You have tried. I could see you were struggling. So my name is Terry Mante, and I believe in thought leadership. So
Okay.
over the last maybe a little more than 10 years now, my life has been around inspiring people, empowering people. So I have written a number of books. I write every week. I've written consistently for the Business and Financial Times.
Okay.
I have also done a number of seminars. I do corporate training. I offer business development advisory services to companies and individuals. So that has really been my life, or that is my life.
That's basically who Mr. Terry is.
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you been into writing?
So I've been writing for 14 years.
14.
I wrote my first
First
book in 2006.
Okay.
I was in my final year at the University of Ghana when doing my first degree. So that was when I
So you should say
launched my
shout out
first
to
book.
University
Yes.
of Ghana so
Yes,
that they
University
watch.
of Ghana.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you've been writing for 14 years
Yes.
now, and this is your ninth.
This is the ninth
The
book.
ninth book.
Yes.
Did you just wake up and be like, I want to be an author? What prompted the whole thing?
Okay,
of
that's
writing?
a long story. I'll try to cut it short.
Okay.
I believe that every human being is born with a purpose.
Okay.
And this purpose also comes with certain gifts and talents that God gives us so that we can use those to fulfill the purpose that He has for our lives. So I realized that I could write well.
Okay.
And I also realized that I liked to help people. I like
Okay.
to see people do well.
Okay.
So I searched within me, I prayed to God, and so I realized that I could connect the writing and then the need to help people. Because if you are a writer, there are so many things you can write.
Yeah.
But I decided to use that to help people to find a sense of meaning and a sense of purpose in their existence on earth.
Okay, that's very deep. And so that's what prompted it.
Yes.
For you to start
So for me, I
writing.
think it's a call from God.
It's a call from
Yes.
God. God came and said, Terry, start
He
writing.
didn't come to say that to me.
It's a call from God. So which one was your first book? Can you?
I wrote a book called Winning with Confidence.
Okay.
So I thought that confidence is something that we all need to have. And you don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to be an extrovert to be
Okay.
confident. You just have to have certain values and certain principles that you believe in and that you practice. And that makes you confident. So when you are confident, you don't necessarily have to be a loud person. You just have to have certain values in your life. So that is what that particular book is about.
Okay. And then because we are going to dive
So,
into
yes.
this very book today, which he just wrote. He just actually launched it
yes.
virtual.
Yes.
I watched a bit of it.
Okay.
And it was very good. One of my guests, former guest, was on the show, Mr. Kelvin. Shout out to you.
Okay. And he was on the virtual launch
Yes,
as well.
please. He was on, and I saw
Very
it.
good friend of
And
mine.
how has the journey been for you as an author?
It's been fulfilling. It's
It's
been fulfilling. Of course, like anything else in life, there are challenges. But usually, I don't like to dwell too much on the challenges. I like to focus on the objective and the fulfillment that comes in doing that. I have done this a number of times. My business and financial time column, I think by now I have almost 400 articles over the years. But every single time when I finish a script, I have this sense of satisfaction, this sense of fulfillment. So I keep doing it, and that's what I keep looking at, and that is what inspires me to go on to do that.
That's very good. It's a good calling you have then.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that you are making an impact. It's all about making an impact.
Yes.
When you wrote this book and you wanted to title it, you might have a lot of subtopics to pick or titles to pick.
Okay.
Why did you pick the empowerment?
So normally I write with a Christian outlook.
Okay.
From a Christian worldview.
Okay.
So this title is actually informed by a scripture in the Bible that says that it is God who works in us, both to will and to do. So you can see there is a bit of that in the subtitle, both to will and to do according to his good pleasure. So that is what I had in mind, that so if God is working in us, how do we bring out what God is working in us? What do we have to do? Because many times when we are not doing well or when things are not going well, sometimes people tend to blame God and people are looking up to God. But as a Christian, one of the things I know is that God is really interested in our well-being. He's interested in what we do. So and God never makes a mistake. He never fails. So most of the time, when things are not going well or when we seem to be lost, it's because we are probably not doing our parts of the deal. So that is what this book is about. So if God is working things in us, what are some of the things we have to do to ensure that the things that God is working in us really manifest and they become real in our day-to-day experience of life?
Okay, so we are starting the book.
Okay.
The long-awaited book is here, Empowerment.
Yes.
To be, to will, and to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would like to read part of what you have written.
That's fine.
And the chapter 1 says, who is in your boat?
Okay.
I want to quickly take that one. The people in your life may engender calamity or calmness. Jonah in the boat. A group of, so this talk about what happened when Jonah was in the boat. What were you trying to put out there for the readers?
Yes, so one day I was reading that part of the Bible, and I realized that, so Jonah had been sent on a mission by God. He decided to run away from God. And then he joined some people who were also on their own business, going by their own somewhere. And he told the people that, oh, I want to join you on your trip. And then he paid them and he joined them. They didn't ask him any question. So on their way, they realized that things were going wrong for them. And then after they did their inquiry, I'm just summarizing the story. After they made their inquiries, they realized that the reason they were having the problems were because of the new person they had taken on board, Jonah. And so Jonah told them the truth. And then so they started asking him questions. Then when the problems came, they started asking him questions. Who are you? What is your occupation? Where are you coming from? And all that. Then Jonah answered them, and then they realized that they had to really get him off the ship. So it struck me that the questions they asked were very important questions. Maybe if they had asked him those questions earlier, before they got him on board the trip, they wouldn't have had the calamity they had. So so that was when I really learned that before we allow people to come into the core of our lives, because that's why they say, who is in your boat? So these people were in a boat. A boat is a means of transportation. So I'm using it as a metaphor for anything we have in life that helps us to move on, to succeed. So it can be a business we are building. It can be, you can be in school. So when you are going through an educational process, it is a boat that is taking you, because a boat is a means of transportation. So it's a boat that is taking you to a certain destination in life. When you are building a business, it's a means of transportation. It is taking you somewhere. When you want to build a family, who you bring on board
It's also
is
important.
important. So these are some of the questions you have to check the people out before we get them on board. Sometimes we give people access into our lives. They begin to influence us. We begin to take advice from them. We begin to open up to them in ways that we shouldn't have. And then when things begin to go wrong, by the time we realize that we shouldn't have given the people this, it may have been too late. We may have been in the middle of the journey as these people found themselves.
So basically,
So-
this chapter is just trying to encourage or to notify this generation or anybody that will pick this book to be aware of the people that they bring on board.
So we have
in
to
their
check
lives.
people out before we do.
We
and there is
associate
another,
ourselves
exactly.
with them.
And there is a story, a similar story also in the New Testament.
Okay.
Similar to the Jonah experience. So a group of people were going somewhere. They had a similar problem. There was a storm in the middle of their trip. And then they had somebody else in the boat. So when they had the storm, they were wondering, what do we do? So they went to wake up this other guy who didn't seem to be bothered. He was asleep somewhere in the boat, in the ship. So they went to wake him up. Hey, don't you care that we are perishing? We are sinking. The storm is raging and you are asleep. So this guy wakes up and he says that, peace be still. And I'm talking about Jesus. He says, peace be still. So over here, you realize that in one breath, when there was a storm and they began to question Jonah, they realized that he was the cause of the storm. But in another breath, in the case of Jesus, when they asked Jesus, they woke Jesus up, he stopped the storm. So there are some people in your life, when you are in the middle of your storm, you may realize that these are the people who are causing the storm. In the case of Jesus, he stopped the storm. So Jesus, and they were all in the boats, interestingly. So that's why we need to know. So when people come into our life, there could be symbols or representations of Jonah, the Jonah kind of people. So you start taking advice from people, and it begins to affect your relationships. It begins to affect your business. You begin to take certain, and there are some other people too, when they give you advice and you follow, it helps you to solve some of the major problems in your life. So people are important. We just have to be careful.
So
how
would this contribute to an empowering of a youth of this generation?
So, for example, if you have very good friends, people who are serious, who are focused, who have very good values, even your fun moments, your conversations will be enriching. So it gives you ideas, they inspire you, and they help you to move along in life. But if it's just for the sake of mingling and moving around and all that, then it doesn't help you. So we all need to have certain inputs in our lives that help us to advance. So that's what it's about.
Okay. So then the chapter 2 quickly.
Yes.
You said say no to naysayers.
Yes.
Who are naysayers?
So the chapter 2 is connected to the chapter 1.
Yeah.
So it's talking about, again, it's still talking about people in our lives. So naysayers are negative-minded people who are negative. So it's similar, it's just an extension of the chapter 1. And there are people who are very negative. Then in that chapter, I've identified 4 groups of such people.
Yes, we have the critics.
The critics, the cynics,
the
pessimists,
the
and the pacifists.
Yeah.
So the critics...
How do all of them contribute to this?
The critics are always focused on negative things. We tell them about something, they will criticize you and make you lose confidence in what you are doing.
Okay.
And there are some critics who are good critics.
Okay.
And there are some critics who criticize to destroy. But whether they are good critics or bad critics, they focus on why something might not work. And then it's good to listen to them. But in listening to them, you also have to believe in what you have. And then you take the good things that you can to improve your vision. And then there are some cynics, they will laugh at you, they will mock at your vision, and sometimes you will question your own motives and your own intentions, because the cynics are very suspicious people. They think everybody is selfish. So when you tell them you're going to do something great, oh, this one is not going to work. Oh, this is Ghana. That's not work, and you lose focus. So what it does is that it creates negative energy around you.
Okay.
And it could make you insecure, it could make you depressed, and you may be frozen in stagnation, you can't make progress. So it's very important that people we have around us.
So far, so good. And I am really learning a lot. If you just join us, this is the Knowledge City podcast. This is another episode. With me here today is Mr. Terry Mate.
Mante.
Mr. Terry Mante. And we are talking about his new book that he just launched, titled Empowerment. And we are just now got into chapter 3.
Okay, that's fast.
How to get help.
Yes.
How to get help contribute to empowerment? How do they work together?
Because we need help.
Which type of help?
So different kinds of help. Of course, nobody has everything they need to succeed and to move on to the next level.
Okay.
So that's why there are people around. So whatever we are doing, we have to know when we need help. We have to know the kind of help we need. And when we need help, we have to be bold to ask for the help we need.
Okay.
And when we get the help we need, we have to be humble enough and grateful enough to show appreciation for the help we need.
Okay.
And we also have to be helpers ourselves.
Okay.
We have to help people because everybody needs help, and everybody also needs to help. So we live in a world where we have to
It's a give and
depend
take,
on each
yeah.
other. It's an
Yeah.
interdependent world. So that is how it has to be, because you can't do everything you want to do all by yourself.
Okay. So how to get help contributes to empowerment.
Exactly, because it
Okay.
gives you some of the tools and some of the knowledge you need to move on to the next level.
Okay, I want to read
Okay.
the first paragraph.
Okay.
Everybody needs help. Nobody can go on in life without getting help. We all need help to get out of trouble or to find our way to our desired places and destiny. Help is valuable and available all around us, but we don't always get it.
Yes.
Why don't we always get it?
Because sometimes we don't ask for it. Sometimes we are afraid of asking for it. So that's one of the reasons we don't get it.
Okay, I want to take my favorite
Okay,
this thing
you have a
from the book
favorite.
quickly.
Okay.
Yes, I have a favorite
Okay.
here. That is, I like your. They are short, but when you read, you really understand it quickly. That's
Okay.
one thing I have picked up from your book. As soon as you pick the point, you can quickly just absorb it, and it
Okay.
gets stuck there. And it's about more precious than knowledge.
Oh, okay, that one.
Why more precious than knowledge? Empowerment.
Well, of course, let me not give the wrong. Knowledge is extremely important.
Okay.
And I think when we started the 21st century, we said that we are in the knowledge economy.
Yes.
And so if you have knowledge, you have an advantage, you have an edge in life.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have moved beyond the knowledge economy and we are in the digital economy. So knowledge has become democratized. It is accessible to everybody because of the power of the internet. So what I know, you can easily get to know just by searching for something online. You can know.
Yeah.
So my knowledge does not necessarily give me an advantage over you.
Okay.
But of course, you need to have the knowledge. So beyond the knowledge, we have to do other things to make sure that the knowledge we have benefits us. Otherwise, your knowledge, my knowledge, it doesn't really help us
doesn't
much.
really
So
help.
yes.
How,
So
Mr.
that's why I
Terry?
talk about we need to have interpretation. We have to
yes.
be able to appreciate the knowledge well, and then we have to be able to apply it. So you have the knowledge, you must understand it
But you know, it's not
contextually.
everybody that applies it.
So
Now, to
that is-
such person,
yes.
what would the person have to do in order to be enlightened to apply it?
So you just have to look at your life and think of the gaps you have in your life. So some of the things. So normally I look at my life. I look at things that are loopholes in my life,
Yeah.
and I look for knowledge and I apply it to improve my life. And I think all of us have to do that. So if you really, really have a problem in life, if you think that there are areas in your life that need help, that need to be improved, get the knowledge, but don't just get the knowledge. When you have the knowledge, you have to be diligent enough to work with the knowledge you have to break it down and make it applicable and useful to your progress in life.
And how will that, then I wanted to pick the implementation.
Okay.
Implementation. Yeah. I'm picking the ones that, because at the end of the day, we are expecting our viewers to walk into every bookshop or where they can get it and pick it and read it themselves.
Yeah.
So we are just giving a breakdown and how easy it's going to be for them to quickly just pick it and read.
Sure.
Yes,
sure.
please. So implementation. For knowledge to make difference in your life or business, you must have the mechanism to convert your ideas into actions.
Observable actions.
Without actions, imagination is a castle in the air.
Yes. Well, I think that's just for the viewer, because we have talked about imagination earlier.
Already.
Yes. So, yes, you imagine something, you dream about something. I want to do this. I want to do that. But that's about it. If you don't take action, your imagination will just be something in your mind. So, like.
So what I want to ask you
Yes.
is that, what are you expecting that, let's say, a young girl or young guy just walk into a bookshelf full of other authors,
Yes.
and that of our Ghanaian authors,
Okay.
picking your book? What are you expecting that person, after the person buys this book and gets home to read, what are you expecting that person's life to
So
be?
normally when I write a book, my concern is I want people to feel inspired, but not just inspired, but you must feel that you are responsible for your life.
Okay.
And so all the dreams and all the aspirations you have to make them happen. I think that I normally hear people talk about, we don't give people the chance. We don't give young people the chance. Some women will say, we don't give women the chance. It's all over. But nobody is going to give you the chance. Some people may give you the chance. But so my commitment is that, or my objective is that people will take responsibility for their lives.
Okay.
And they will begin to put in the blocks, the pillars that will help them to get to where they want to get to.
Okay.
That is what I want young people or people who buy the book, who read the book, to really get
Because
from it.
as we are here talking about the book, somebody is eager to get one to read.
Okay.
Now, at the end of the day, the reason is going to be, after reading this, what do I benefit from it?
Yeah.
And that is what you have just given us in a breakdown, that you are expecting the person to be inspired.
Be inspired and challenged to take an action that benefits them.
Okay.
And also to live a purpose-driven life.
Okay.
Because our lives on earth is not accidental.
Okay.
We are supposed to solve problems in the world. And every human being has been equipped for that. So that is all I'm looking at. That when you read the book, you'll be able to feel you'll be able to have a sense of identity. You will get to know more about who you are, and begin to work your way towards fulfilling and achieving that purpose for your life.
We're quickly going to the next chapter. That is that which is in you.
Okay.
That which is in you.
Yeah.
That which is in you. Yeah.
Okay, so this was inspired by a scripture in the Bible that says that greater is He
That is
in you than he that is in the world. I gave it a wider application a little bit. I tweaked the scripture a little bit to say that which is in you. So in the original expression in the Bible, it was talking about Jesus Christ who lives in us is greater than Satan.
Don't you think your book
us.
is limited?
So all I'm saying is that.
Do you just
what do you mean by
your
it's
book?
limited?
It's like, must the person be a Christian to just get this book?
You don't have to be a Christian to get this book.
Because the scenario here about Jesus.
So
What's your target?
Okay,
Target
so I think that Christianity is something that is for everybody.
Okay.
It's a way of life.
Okay.
It is a spiritual reality that helps us to live a purpose-driven life.
What of somebody watching us now?
Yes.
It's like, Is the book about Jesus? No, it's an empowerment book. It's an international program, so it's not just focused on
Yeah.
Jesus
I understand
aspect,
that.
but you give it as an example.
As an example, exactly.
Okay.
As an example.
Okay.
As an example. But as I said earlier, I think, in the world we live in,
Yeah.
there are different ideas.
Yeah.
And Napoleon Hill said many years ago that ideas rule the world.
Yes.
So democracy is an idea.
Yes.
Capitalism is an idea.
Good.
There are so many ideas. And I think that even Christianity is not just a religion, but it is also an idea. There are principles in Christianity that have universal application that we can use. And one of the problems I have with my Christian people is that we have limited the ideas of Christianity so much to a certain religious people who go to a place on Sundays and all that. But it has to be expressed. And for me, that is very important to me. If you look at countries in Europe and even America, almost every part of the world where Christianity developed, it led to economic development. It brought economic growth.
Okay.
So far, the only place where Christianity has not really brought economic growth is Africa. And that is because we don't properly interpret the principles in our daily realities, in our day-to-day experiences. But you don't necessarily have to become a church-going person to benefit from the principles I talk about in the book. Even though I will be happy if in the process of reading, somebody who is not a Christian becomes a Christian. I will be very happy with that. But I also believe that the Christian principles are applicable in different aspects of life.
Would you say when you are writing your book, your target was only Christians?
I wouldn't say that. Because even Jesus himself, when he came to the world, his target was not necessarily Christian. He came for everybody. So why should I also take the same message that Jesus brought and say that my target is Christians?
It. So the book is for everybody.
It's for everybody.
Every individual.
Every individual.
This book is for anybody at all to be able to get and to read. Now, I want to take few messages before we continue. We've got a lot of sharers today, and we have Ametepe Emmanuel saying, it's nice program. I'm waiting for the day where's working with Lawrence to be reviewed. Very soon, we are working on that. We have Simon say, "Goodos, thank you." And we have Emmanuel again saying, we are following you live. We have Ransford Danzo saying, watching you reading, nice program. Thank you. Or please tell a friend to tell a friend. It's about empowerment. We need this generation, our youth, to be empowered, and the people yet to come, so that when we are not there, just you don't need to be talked to before you do something, but just picking a book to read and then learning few things from the book, jotting them down and applying it with your life will make your life be in order and in shape. That is why our authors take time to write these pieces down for us, for references in the future and for now. That is why our brother also has sat down. How long did it take you to write this book? You said how many months?
Like 3 months.
Like 3 months, a whole of 3 months. He have to sacrifice and write this book so that we'll be able to patronize it. Now, as you are always aware, this project is about encouraging our creative content producers, especially those who are writing books. We are trying to encourage them to also say we've got good writers in Ghana who takes time to give us beautiful pieces that will empower this generation and the one yet to come. If you are joining me, it's still the Knowledge City podcast. Again with me, Mr. Terry. We are almost done with the book, but I'm going to encourage that when we are done with the program, he's going to put the number on the platform. We are putting it on the screen. You please call him. He will give us how much he's selling it, and then we will deliver it to you. You call him, he will deliver. And today, I think 5 people are getting free again, 5 of his copies on Knowledge City's podcast account, but not the housemates people. Today, it's for the people watching us at the other side. Thank you very much. When I said we are giving 5 copies out, people started laughing because they have been benefiting from every book we are trying to give out to you, our audience. So we will choose randomly 5 people and we will let you pick the books on our account. Thank you. Please let's quickly go to Mr. Terry's chapter 8, the right to fight.
Oh yeah.
This part, it's also one of the favorites because I have come to believe that for you to get something done, sometimes you need to fight your way through it. You need to not go and boxing. No. You just need to do some bit of, so please give us a bit about the right to fight.
Yeah, so we have to fight. So there are things we have to fight for, and there are things we have to fight against.
Okay.
In order
For and against. The
yes.
things we have to fight for, and the things we have to fight
against.
Okay.
Yes. So, because there are things that are fighting against you, that are
Okay.
going to come against you.
Like
There
what?
are obstacles that you are going to face. There are barriers that will come against you, and everybody has their own set of challenges they face.
Okay.
So if you want to do something and there is a particular challenge or a barrier or obstacle that really comes against you, then you have to fight it. But in this particular book, I just gave 2 examples, especially because sometimes most of the things that fight against us are more internal and unseen. So I talk about fighting against cynicism.
Yeah.
If you come from a place like, if you live in Africa, it is very difficult to dream big.
Why?
It is very difficult to think of setting up a company that will make the same impact that maybe Facebook or other companies. It is very difficult.
Is it that they will not patronize it?
Not necessarily, because there is no example. There are so many obstacles in our environment.
Okay.
So, you have a 19-year-old boy in America start something and then in a few years' time he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
So, but if you live in a place like this, you don't have any example. There is nothing. The systems do not support you and all of that. And so sometimes when you start, things are going to fight against you, and you have to determine that you are going to break through.
Is it human beings fighting or discouraging you?
Sometimes it's human beings fighting you. Sometimes there are people discouraging you.
Okay.
Sometimes you discouraging yourself. So you have to fight against all that.
Okay.
You have to fight against all that. And so that is why I also say that you have to fight for your convictions, the things you believe in.
Yes.
Because you could be so frustrated that you even begin to doubt your dreams and you begin to doubt your convictions.
Yeah.
So every single day, you have to fight to hold on to the things you believe in, to hold on to your dream, not to give up on them. And it's a daily battle you have to fight for. So you have to fight for that. So you fight for your convictions, you fight for your goals, because there will be so many things that will happen, so many obstacles, and then you fight for the good people you have in your life.
Yes, that's where I am coming to. He said, fight for your loved ones.
Yes.
Hey, me, I just get up now, then I'll start fighting over people.
No.
Sometimes, people don't want to be fight over.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, what happens?
So all I'm saying in this particular context is that
please.
sometimes there will be people that you really cherish and that you really care about, and maybe sometimes they get it wrong, and they do something, they make
and they
a mistake.
want to go, so you let them go.
Oh, if they want to go, you let them go.
So will you go and
But
fight
if
for somebody who's made up their mind?
Not necessarily. It depends on the circumstances. I can't give a straight answer. It depends on the circumstances.
Okay.
Because sometimes,
Mr. Terry, are you married?
Sometimes not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Have you been had a broken heart before?
Oh.
And has it affected your writing?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Have you lost something so valuable that has affected? Because such things, when they happen, it affects even the empowerment
So for me,
spirit you have in you to do something. You get it?
well, there are so many things that happen that discourage us. So this is my attitude towards negative things that happen.
Yes.
This is my attitude towards negative things. Generally,
Okay.
whether it's people who live or it's a business deal. It's a business deal I lose, or somebody goes to say something negative about me. I'm normally very intolerant of negative energy. But if something bad happens or something negative happens, I learn from it and then I move on. I try to move on. I don't want to spend too much time crying over things that are not going
Well
on,
played.
that are not going well. So you move on. But what I'm talking about here
Yeah, yes.
is that sometimes you have a very good relationship,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about relationship generally,
Yes, please.
whether it's a business relationship or a romantic relationship
Yeah.
or whatever. And then maybe the person does something wrong,
Yeah.
an incident, and then because of that, it creates a wedge in the relationship.
Okay.
So the fact that somebody does something bad doesn't necessarily make them a bad person.
Okay.
So you have to find ways to correct what has happened. You have to find ways to forgive if there is a need to. You have to find ways to forgive and build a relationship. And in doing that,
Okay.
you may have to redefine the relationship. It doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship has to be the same as it was, depending on what happened.
Okay.
So sometimes you may have to redefine the relationship, and there are instances where the relationship may have to go. But generally, if you have somebody or people who you know are very crucial to your success, are very important to your walk of destiny, and incidents come up, you don't necessarily let those incidents throw away everything. Like you say, you don't throw the baby away. How do you say? You don't throw the bath water with the baby. So
Okay.
you are bathing the baby, and then the water gets messed up. And then because the water gets messed up,
You carry
take
the baby and the water
and
or
then you
throw
throw
them
all of
away. That's all.
You just throw the water away, and then you,
And then
keep,
you
the
keep
baby,
the
and then
baby.
you change the water.
Okay.
So that's all I'm
Thank you
trying
very
to say.
much. Thank you very much. We'll quickly jump to the last page.
Okay.
Then I ask you personal questions.
Personal questions.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Unlock the force of confidence.
Yes.
How do somebody that has been brought up all his or her life who is very timid will be able to unlock that to get confidence? Tell me.
They have to read this book.
They have to read this book.
But the key thing is the information that we allow to sink into our hearts.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm generally very quiet, very reserved. I don't want to be seen in public.
Okay.
I don't want to be seen. I can get to a place and leave, and I don't want to be noticed
Yeah, that's good.
at all. And I don't know whether it's because I am naturally reserved or it's because I am shy. I don't know.
But you don't know which one it is.
I think it's because I'm generally reserved.
Okay.
But I get uncomfortable when I'm the center of attention.
Okay.
So you realize that even almost all your personal questions, I'm trying to swerve them.
Yes.
But what happens is that, so even in deciding to become an author,
Yeah.
I had to fight a lot of mental battles.
Okay.
So nobody knows me. If I write a book, who will buy?
Yeah.
I don't have much experience, so
Yeah.
what am I going to do? People will say that, who are you to tell us how to live our life?
Yeah.
However, the yearning, I know what I sense in my heart, that this is something I need to do. So you have to keep filling your mind with positive information, ideas that confirm the positive things you have in your heart and your spirit. And for me personally, that's why I keep talking about the Bible. And sometimes people say, hey, you are limiting, like
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah,
but
I also say it means
for
I'm
me,
not the only person.
a
to
lot of
say
people
that.
say.
Yes.
And so normally when I try to make my books very generic and all
Okay.
that, there are times that I don't run away from the Bible, because if I'm writing a book and I can quote all kinds of people, I should be able to also quote other people who may be in the Bible as well. But all I'm saying is that if you are timid, then you have to work on a program for yourself where you are constantly filling yourself with information and ideas that will make you confident. And you have to persist and persevere to constantly work on your mind. And I do that a lot. Sometimes I try to do something, it doesn't work, and I go back and say, hey, this thing, it didn't work the way should I give up? Should I stop? And then I keep talking about it, and I say, no, the original vision was to do this. So if it hasn't happened, I'm going to make sure it happens. So all of us, we deal with it. And for me, some of the things I even write about, I write them out of my own
Experience.
personal struggles.
Okay.
So when I wrote Winning with Confidence,
Yeah.
because at the time, This was in 2006.
Yeah.
I had just entered the final year. At the time, I said that no, I am too, I need to work on my confidence. So I started reading about confidence. I started reading, looking for positive things that will help me to have a good self-image. And then after a while, I wrote a book with it. So almost most of the things I write about is based on things that I'm learning for my own personal development.
And it has helped.
And it has helped
and
me a
you are
lot.
expecting that it help other people.
Exactly.
To, if it worked for
Exactly.
you, it should work for someone
Exactly.
else. Okay, quickly to that, I want to ask, whilst you have taken this journey, have you made any sacrifices on the way?
Everything is a sacrifice.
What have you sacrificed? Our last guest we had last episode, our last guest we had on the last episode had sacrificed his time because at the normal circumstance he was supposed to wake up at 6, but he wakes up at 5 every hour to put into the books. Sometimes he has to sacrifice extra money because to publish it. How do you see that? Do you also encounter the same challenges as he has, like sacrificing time, time, and also money?
A lot, because sometimes, let me tell you this, Rita. Sometimes I could spend a whole night just thinking about how to write a sentence, or there is a concept in my mind, and I need a certain word and I don't have the word, and I'll be thinking about it. Sometimes you could spend days, and it's time. It's mental energy that you invest into it. So that is a lot of work goes into that. I told you that I have been writing on weekly basis for the Business and Financial Times for about 10 years.
Yes, now.
I don't get paid for that.
But it's fulfilling.
Because I want to make an impact.
Yeah.
I have published a lot of articles online.
Okay.
And I don't get paid for that. And then I have printed 9 books, most of them thousands of copies. And so you have to spend money. Sometimes you go to an event to speak.
Yeah.
You've spoken to these young people.
Yeah.
And then somebody will come to you and say that, I want to buy your book.
But I don't have the
money. And sometimes
would you say that publishing books in Ghana is expensive? That's why you sell very expensive?
It is expensive. It is challenging. It's expensive. So even
and so, what do you think that should be done in terms of every individual that want to dive into writing? What would you advise them to?
One of the things I would say is that now it's even easier because of digitization.
Okay.
So there are so many platforms where we can publish digitally.
Okay.
And so even for me, I'm doing a lot of that lately.
Okay.
I'm doing it, and I've realized that it's good because you can have a global audience, you can have an African audience, you can reach more people when you digitize, when you go virtual. So I think that is one thing that we can upcoming author. And thanks to COVID-19, COVID-19 has facilitated that. This has always been in my plan, but I think COVID-19 has really facilitated that. So as I speak to you, for instance, my books are listed on about 14 different online stores globally. So Amazon and some platforms in Nigeria, in Canada, in France, in Italy. My books are there and people are reading them.
Yeah.
So young people should do, and most of these platforms you list for free. So all you have to do, and you people, as and when people buy, you can be in Ghana and be earning money. So we have to polish our craft and write in a way that will become, of course, it will still have the African context, but it must also have global relevance. So that when somebody in the US or wherever, in Nigeria, in Kenya, when they read your work, they should be able to appreciate it and relate to themselves. For me, when I was at the university, I did a course. My first degree was in political science and sociology. One of the courses we did in political science was Africa and the global system. And at the time, I remember one of my lecturers, the lecturer for that course, telling us that only 1% of things on the internet is contributed by Africans. And I said,
everything is contributed by others.
I am going to be one of the contributors.
And you have.
So it's one of the reasons why when I started writing, most of my articles, I publish them online. Some have been used but companies have cited them. One time I was online and I realized that a whole school district in New York
Yeah.
had used my article in a school exam, in a literature exam for different schools in the district, Syracuse City schools in New York. And they so an exam paper in a number of schools.
And
I
they
said,
have
wow,
used- wow,
the
that's
same way we study Shakespeare and the rest
They
in
are
Ghana,
doing that.
they are studying Terry
So it
Mansi
means you are
in the
doing
US.
something very right.
So for people who want to write, let's sharpen our crafts. Sometimes I spend the whole night reading all kinds of authors, studying writing styles, learning new English words, learning and all kinds of things. So we have to do that, and we have to think globally and begin to see how we can use virtual platforms to advance our crafts.
Thank you, Mr. Terry. I want to read few comments to you.
Okay.
And John Amemo said, great works, Terry. You have brought out the fundamentals of living a successful life in such a simple terms. God bless you. And God bless you too, John, for watching. Please share our videos. Let it go viral for us. And we have Anita Ando said, well done, Terry. Hard work pays. Thank you, Anita, for watching. We really appreciate. And we have Nakia Nate said, can't wait to read this book. We'll put his number there, Naki, so that you please buy some. Buy for your household. Buy for your nieces and nephews that are upcoming as well, so that they will have it to read. It's a movement that we are encouraging, that instead of buying a birthday cake, why don't you get books for your loved ones to read? It's a lifetime gift you give to them. For the cake, they will eat and they will forget that they ate a cake. Then we have Anita saying, learning. Thank you for watching, Anita. God bless you. Then Nakite again said, the fact that someone does something bad doesn't necessarily make them a bad person. I love this statement, Terry. Let's not write people off just because of one mistake they make. Thank you. He's really imparting me here as well. I'm learning so much. Fast forward, our time is almost up. But before we go, Mr. Terry is going to give us few last two answers to our...
Okay.
I will bring him back again because he's got a lot of books and time is not on our side. He will come back. What do you think our generation needs to know about empowerment? In simple terms,
They need to know how to use knowledge.
please cut.
They need to know, we need to, I won't say they because I'm part of the
Yeah,
generation.
yeah.
We need to know how to use knowledge.
How to
Yes.
use knowledge and
Yes.
how do we use it?
So, based on, we need to be able to relate it to our goals and our aspirations in life,
Okay.
and constantly be upgrading and updating the knowledge we
Ourselves.
have, and then keep moving. We have to persist and we have to persevere.
Okay. So when Mr. Terry was coming, he said he sells empowerment book with the little one here, which is also Leader Sense.
Yes.
Leader Sense. It goes together. It goes together. Where
Yes.
can we get these books to buy?
Yes,
And
so
all your other books?
We are making it convenient for people.
Okay.
So there are two ways to get a book. Visit
Okay.
any online bookstore that they know.
Any
So
online
whether it's
bookshop.
Amazon or Kobo or Book Nook or Bambooks or
Okay.
Okada Books,
Okay.
they can get it from there. Or
Oh.
if they call the number I'm going to give,
Okay.
we can have it delivered to them anywhere in Ghana.
Please, can you put the number there? The
So
number
the
to call.
number is 024 982 7575. 024 982 7575. So once they call that number, we can arrange and it will be delivered to them everywhere in Ghana.
Thank you very much for coming. And
Thank you for having me.
it's been the Knowledge City podcast. And Mr. Terry has graced our show today with his book he just launched, Empowerment. Please get it to read. And it's very easy to understand, believe you me. And as you are aware of the movement, get it for your household, get it for a friend who is celebrating his or her birthday, who is getting married. Just get them books to read. When you give a book to somebody, you are giving them one of the timeless and precious gifts you ever give them. So when you call him, he sends these two books to you at a very affordable price. Very, very affordable price. This week we are choosing 5 people to give them 5 of his copies on Knowledge City Podcast account. And we want to say thank you very much for always joining us. Not forgetting our main support system. This show is brought to you by Stardom Africa, powered by Merita DW, that does clothing, gadgets, and also food. And we also have our main sponsor, which is Hable Construction. Hable Company. It's located on the Spinters Road. Their flyers is all on the program as we continue to do. You see their flyers on the screen. Please contact any of them. Merita's collection is into dresses. They gave me this beautiful dress to wear, which I'm also the CEO for. And we are I'm still reading the final words. We have thumbs up from Joyce. Thank you, sis, for watching. Then we have Vien said, nice one. We have Anita. Anita is watching all the way in Europe. Thank you for watching, Anita. We really appreciate. And please share and please call Mr. Terry and make a copy. And for gracing our show and we making you come all the way here, we don't want you to go empty-handed. Okay. We want to say thank you for taking your time and giving us a brief about your books and what you are expecting, the change you are making. It's a good cause. Sometimes the salary or the pay that comes with it is very small. Yeah. But what is fulfilling is that you are able to change somebody's life. You are able to make an impact. And thank you for that work you are doing. And I believe that as the days goes by, the whole Africa and the world will hear of you for the good work you are doing. Don't give up. Thank you so much. So with us, we have a very nice gift for you. Oh. Yes. Today our bag is even having a ribbon. Wow. This is a t-shirt from Knowledge City Podcast to you. To say thank you very much. And the flyers we sent to you as well. We have it in a mug form. Wow. To say when you wake up in the morning, while sipping or drinking anytime, Knowledge City Podcast says, God bless you for coming. Wow. So we have it here. Okay. So we have the main company, which I'm the CEO for. Okay. And we also have a mug for you. Then the flyer that came with the date you came here. Wow. It's all on here for you to keep and to say that we really appreciate what you are doing. Don't give up. At the right time, the salary that will come with it and the fulfillment, it's so overwhelming. God bless you. God bless you. So on that note, we have come to an end of today's episode. See you next 2 weeks with another new set of guests that will come and you will enjoy it. Thank you for always supporting us. We are just new, but the love is so overwhelming and we say God bless you. Continue to share and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell a friend to also subscribe. Let them listen to the book we have dived into and get a copy for themselves. Let's make a change. Let's encourage our authors in Ghana that are writing beautiful pieces to enhance our lives and to help us become good generation. Thank you. God bless you. Shalom.